Elementary math, it is such a pleasure to be with each of you. Your thoughtfulness, the concise way that you end your sentences with a strong period, just brings my heart joy. Rubric 9, prompt 4B, when the EdTPA scorer is looking for evidence to shift you to a 3, 4, or 5 on this rubric, they'll be looking at your written responses for prompt 4B, as well as the video clips that you reference as you're providing those particular responses. So for this prompt, explain how you used representations. So representations defined as manipulatives, models, tools, diagrams, or charts. If you take a look at your Understanding Rubric Progressions document, it provides a bit more of a fleshed out definition of representations. The term representation refers to both process and to product. In other words, to the act of capturing a mathematical concept or relationship in some form and to the form itself. So as I said, representation is manipulatives, models, tools, diagrams, and charts. Stick with that, please. Stick with that. What you need to talk about is how you're using representations to support students' understanding and use of mathematical concepts. So the first thing to do, look at the video clips you've chosen for the EdTPA. Find those places in the video clips where you have used representations. The example given in Understanding Rubric Progressions, for example, the candidate models how students can use base 10 blocks to build numbers between 20 and 50 using tens and ones. So in this case, you would be using the manipulatives to help your students understand the concept of building numbers using base 10 and using individual units, right? So it's not just that you used the representation, it's how did you use it to support students' understanding and use of mathematical concepts. An example that would move from a 3 to a 4, if once again from Understanding Rubric Progressions, for example, the candidate may provide a 2-digit number and ask the students to use the base 10 blocks to represent that number. So the different ways that you would use base 10 blocks to represent that number. So the shift here is not just that you are modeling, but you are giving students the opportunity to use the representation. So that's a key element in the shift if you're trying to move from a 3 to a 4 or to a 5. So in your response, you want to indicate in the video where you're using the representations and then talk through your rationale for why you're using the representation in that way to support students' understanding and use of mathematical concepts. Back with you momentarily to talk through Rubric 10 and Prompt 5.